Hi everyone, this is the first lesson video for Chapter 8, and this is our course content for this video. We first show how to install Python, and then demonstrate the third program, Hello World. Then we are going to teach variables, data types, input and output, and there is an exercise at the end to summarize this course. To install Python, first open a browser, then search Python, and choose the first website. If your computer system is macOS, select macOS in the download menu. If your computer system is Windows, select Windows. If your computer system is another system, choose other platform. Let's use macOS as a demonstration first. You can choose the Python version you want, then I will choose the latest version. Scroll to the bottom and select macOS to download. If you are using a Windows system, you can also select the Windows version to download on this page. After downloading, you can start to install Python directly. After downloading, you can open the package and then click the continue, and then agree, and then install. Here you need to enter your password, and then you can install the Python. Then I will also demonstrate how to install Python in Windows. The previous steps are the same as before. When installing, remember to check the button option on the screen, then install now. Wait for it to download. After the installation is complete, you can find IDLE in the application menu and open it to write Python programs. Then we can start writing our first program, Hello World. First, open IDLE and choose New File. Then you can start to write the program. Enter print Hello World. Save it first. The file extension of Python basically ends with py, and then run it. You can also press the F5. Then you can see the screen output Hello World. We can see that there is the word print in the program, which is asking the computer to print something to the screen. Next, let us pay attention to the pair of brackets after print. Here we can understand this pair of brackets as meaning action. So this last of code is communication with computer. There is an action for you to do, and that is print. As for what to print, please help me print a string Hello World. If we execute this code, the computer will follow our instruction and display Hello World on the screen. And then we are going to talk about variables and data types. What are variables? To put it simply, it is a number whose value can change. In computer programs, variables are name changed to facilitate calling value in memory in the program. For example, we name a variable firstNum and assign it a value of 10. After executing, we find that nothing happened. This is because we only declare variables and get values. If there are no print, there will be nothing on the screen. So we need to write print firstNum after declaring firstNum to let the program output the variable firstNum. Then we can see 10 on the screen. Then if we change the value of firstNum to 20, the output value will also become 20. If we declare two variables firstNum and secondNum, and assign the value 20 and 45 respectively, there are two ways to write. One is to declare it in two lines like this. The other is to write it in one line, like this. Then we want to print out the sum of the two variables. Print firstNum plus secondNum. After execution, You can see that the sum of the two variables is printed on the screen. You can also do this if you want to declare two variables with the same value. Next, we will introduce 5 common data types. First, integer, a positive or negative whole number that can be used with mathematical operators. The second one is real, a positive or negative number with a fractional part. Real numbers can be used with mathematical operators. The third one is char, a variable or constant that is a single character. The fourth one is string, a variable or constant that is a several character in length. String vary in length and may even have no characters, nodes, and an empty string. The character can be letters or digits or any other printable symbol. If a number is stored as a string, then it cannot be used in calculation. The fifth one is Boolean, a variable or constant that can have only two values, true or false. Let's take a look at a program example. Here is a function type that can be used to check the variable type. You can see the execution result and the value of each variable and the corresponding data type are printed on the screen. The data type of real will display float, which represents a floating point number, and string type data can be declared using single quote or double quote. Among them, the data type printed by the variable grade is string. Why it's not char? It's because Python does not have a char type. All single characters are string of length 1. It can be observed that when declaring a variable, we assign the value directly after the equal sign. So we can also convert a value from one type to another. For example, if you want to convert first real float type to integer type, you can do this. Then you can see that the floating point number 25.0 becomes the integer 25. If you want to convert first integer type to string type, you can do this. And then you can convert the integer 25 to the text 25. What will happen if a Boolean type is converted to the integer type? You can find that true becomes the integer 1, and false becomes the integer 0. Next, we will introduce how Python inputs and outputs. First, if you want to input a variable first var. But what should be noted here is that the input variable type is a string. You can use the type function to check the type of the current input variable. If the variable first var want to be an integer variable type, you need to add int outside the input. If you want a floating point type, you need to add float. If you want to give input prompt when inputting, you can enter prompt text in the input. After execution, you can see input prompt on the screen. We have also demonstrated how to output variables before, but if the content we want to output contains other message, we can do this. Use commas to connect text and variables for output. Finally, here we have an exercise called the BMI calculator. Body mass index is the measure of body fat based on height and weight. Let the user input height in centimeters and weight in kilograms. Please write a program to calculate BMI and output it. Here is the calculation formula for BMI. First, the user needs to enter their height and weight. Two variables need to be used to store the height and weight respectively. Since the input is to read a string variable, it needs to be converted into the floating point variable type we want. Another thing need to know is that the height unit we enter is centimeters, but the height in the BMI calculation formula is meters, so we need to convert the height to meters first. Then you can calculate the BMI value. BMI is equal to weight divided by height squared. Finally, output the BMI value. Then you can test the program. The above is the course content of our first video. The next video continues the programming concept of selection, iteration, totaling, and counting. See you in the next video.